There is a new budget announced today by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The budget is significant for the Ministry of Defence since it's the first budget since Operation Sindoor was conducted against Pakistan, May 2025. The budget clearly shows the thrust of the Ministry of Defence or the government towards modernizations, toward adding new aircraft, new ships and other aspects. I'll first go through the numbers, the sheer numbers. The numbers are 7.84 lakh crores is the defense budget for this year. This is a 15% hike over the previous year or the existing financial year, which is ending on 31st March this year. The second critical number is the 2.19 lakh crore rupees allocated for capital spend. Now, capital spend, to tell to our listeners and viewers, is needed for buying new ships, planes, and also to make out the payments for existing weapon systems which we are buying. Out of the capital, there are three components which are important. First is aero engines and aircraft. That is around 63,000 crore rupees. And another 25,000 crore rupees for naval fleet. I must tell the listeners there are around 60 naval ships under construction at the moment. And also another 82,000 crore rupees is for other equipment. The other equipment is part of the technology which is being done and also being added to the newer technology which the army is also integrating into its various battalions which are being formed, or the battle architecture which has changed after Operation Sindoor. Coming back to the budget now, importantly, first, the hike in capital indicates that India is very serious about getting new aircraft. The Rafale 114 jets are to be signed this fiscal year only. The money, the initial payments have to be made. Also, the Tejas Mark 1A is being readied by the HAL. The payments for the Tejas Mark 1A have to be made. Engines, again referring to the capital expense, engines, again, we are purchasing engines, the General Electric engines F404 from USA. The payments for that has to go. Also, aircraft would also mean some helicopters which the services are procuring. The naval ships, almost, as I told you, 60 naval ships are being made across shipyards in India, including submarines. And also a new submarine tender is scheduled to be signed with the German company TKMS, or Crore Marine Systems, with the Mazagon Dock Shipbuilder Limited in Mumbai. These submarines will be AIP plug enabled, means that the submarines can remain submerged for a longer period of time. Expectedly, this will cost around $10 billion, and the first initial payments have to be going in this fiscal and also in the next fiscal. So the allocation has factored in that. Now comes the second part, the other equipment. Other equipment is around 82,000 crore rupees. This could mean a wide spectrum of things, which include artillery guns, ammunition. It will also include rifles. It will also include bulletproof jackets. It will also include vehicles for the army, specialized vehicle for counter-insurgency areas in Jammu and Kashmir. Also some surveillance vehicles along the line of actual control with China. The Operation Sindoor scenario reflects in the budget very clearly. 21.8% hike in the capital is significant, as I told you. Now coming to the second part, the defense budget has gone up 15%. It is a significant hike, one of the biggest in the past few years. Still, we are behind, say, countries like China, which have a budget of around $250 billion. US President Donald Trump okayed a target of having a $1 trillion budget for the next fiscal in America, that is 2027. Of course, China will add up and we will need to do some catching up. But still, this time the government has allocated a large sum for the defense ministry. This sum will also mean that the modernization program is not impacted. The research carries on. There are several research verticals on with the IITs across the country. The DRDO is working on some technologies, including gallium nitride chips. Gallium nitride is a mechanism of making semiconductor chips which are used in, say, high-end items like the jets or in space or even in radars. These gallium nitride chips are vital and critical. India has already announced that we have done a breakthrough and we have achieved the process of making a gallium nitride chip. This is also part of the Ministry of Defence. The Defence Research and Development Organization and the ADA, that is the Aeronautical Development Agency, will be working on several new projects, including a plane. The GTRE, the Gas Turbine Research Establishment under the DRDO, has already issued an expression of interest asking global and Indian players to come and participate in making an engine. That engine is supposed to be 120 kilonewton. The Tribune had done a story in its edition 2 days ago about the GTRE tender for the new engine. An Indian partner will do the part making for the engine. The GTRE will hold the IPR and the foreign partner may be helping in some aspects. Again, this is a derivative or an upgrade. I'll not say a derivative, correct myself, an upgrade over the Kaveri engine which we have been trying to make for the past 3 decades. The engine of the Kaveri, or named Kaveri, does around 51 kilonewtons. We are trying to use that in unmanned combat aerial vehicle, UCAV called Ghatak. That engine, the Kaveri engine, will go there. Now, the Defense Ministry also has some other expenses going on, which includes salaries and pensions. The pension bill has not risen much this time. It's around 171 lakh crores, up barely by 1%, 1.6% increase, which indicates that the pension bill has been maintained at a certain level. I'm not saying curbed, maintained at a certain level. Coming back to the Ministry of Defense spending, the research part will be important. One. Two, the equipment, the purchase of new equipment, the planes, ships, and the artillery guns and other things will be very important this year. Also, the army is changing its battle architecture to add new regiments for the artillery, new rocket regiments, and the Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi has already spoken that he is talking of a rocket force that will need some budgetary spend into establishing new ranges for the Pinaka rocket launcher or even the BrahMos, or even other rockets like which was shown on the Republic Day parade like the Surya Astra, which has got a range of around 250 kilometers. We will keep on updating you about the budget and its impact. With me is Tribune photographer Mukesh Agarwal.